How much difference is there between a 52 volt 2000 watt e-bike and a 6000 watt 65 volt e-bike? The difference might not be quite what you actually think. So what you'll find most common on generic e-bike kits are you get 36 volts, 48 volts, 52 volts, and then normally it jumps straight up to 72 volts. And not quite so common, you get 60 volts, which I actually really like. Now, volts is usually what gives you your speed on e-bikes. Roughly in a nutshell, a 36 volt is what you'll find on a legal 250 watt e-bike, and they actually do about 22 miles an hour. Despite what people think with the law doing 15 miles an hour max, 36 volts will even go faster than the law allows. 48 volts, normally about 30, 35, about 1500 watts. 52 volts normally come out about 2000 watts and do about 38, 40 miles an hour. 60 volts is where it gets interesting. They'll do about 50 miles an hour, and I think that's a really good sweet spot for experienced riders. And 72 volts will do close to around 60 miles an hour, give or take. Now I'm talking about hub drive kits, not mid drive. Generic hub drive kits, there are variations, but they're not normally huge. Field weakening in the controller, wheel size will determine slightly the speed, but it doesn't seem to change normally, give or take 5 miles an hour on most generic hub drive kits. So what I've actually done is, this is sort of your generic 2000 watt 52 volt kit. Normally it jumps up from 60 volt, which I really like, to 72. Now I find 72 volt batteries too big, too expensive, too cumbersome, too ugly. So what I've done is I've taken the best battery on the market, in my opinion, the CYC A65 battery. This is 65 volts nominal, probably somewhere in the region of 74 volts fully charged. And just look at it. Look how, like, it's such a nice case. It's just fully metal. It actually looks decent. Most 72 volts you see on the market, on the internet, have normally got massive Velcro strap, ugly baggy bags over the frame. And they just look like they're going to get you in trouble with the law. They look messy and they weigh too much. They're too big, they're too heavy. For me personally, I think 60 volts and 65 volts is the sweet spot for experienced riders that actually want a bit of speed, but actually want the bike to look tidy and nice. Riding this down the street, you'd have to look twice to realise it's an e-bike. Like compared to these things that are covered in wires everywhere and straps. It doesn't look like massively DIY bodged and sketchy. That's my point. So anyway, how much difference is there? I mean, this bike would usually do about 35, 40, but it is a couple of years old, the kit on it, so you might lose a little bit of top range now. And it's not just about top speed. Everyone who asks me, sends me questions on a daily basis, always like, how fast it go, how fast it go. Nobody ever asks how it accelerates and how it goes up hills. Most people have never ridden an e-bike and they're just obsessed by the top speed for some sort of bragging rights. You don't need, even experienced riders that ride motorbikes, do not need generally to ride around the streets a bike that does much more than 40 miles an hour, to be honest. I mean, a 2000, what I've always said, is plenty enough for most people. So today we're going to put both of these bikes head to head, and it's not just going to be about top speed. We're just going to see how they accelerate, how they go up hills. Just put them head to head in some quick simple tests to determine what the actual main differences are. And also, this build that I've done is not a generic kit. I've pieced this together myself. I've bought a 3 kilowatt hub motor and a generic 80 amp sine wave control that you get on most e-bike kits, but I've paired it with the CYC battery. Now, I haven't seen anyone else use the CYC battery for a hub drive. This comes with, for those who don't know, CYC makes some of the best e-bike kits in the world and components. Now, this battery normally goes with their X1 kit, which is an absolute animal. But obviously I wanted to see what it would do on a hub drive. Now, I could run this bike at a lot more power. If you changed out this controller, the 80 amp, you could throw in a 100, 120 amp controller, and this thing will be even faster still just by changing out the controller. But this is a sweet spot for me. It's going to be reliable, it's going to be quick enough. Without any further ado, we're going to get these out, because this bike is actually on raffle and it is ending within 24 hours of this video. So it's the last chance to test this bike out. It's the last chance for you guys to jump on it. The raffle is actually massively undersold, so the odds are actually higher for you guys. And it's a last chance opportunity to show what this CYC powered hub drive kit can do. Let's go. We've only got a couple of 100 meters to the end of the road, but don't go mad. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm not even on the throttle. I'll let him think he's oh, give him a bit of false confidence there. Yeah, let's go. Thank you. This is probably where you've got the advantage. We're about to go down a little bit of a hill because your bike's getting on a bit now. The battery's probably lost a bit of its main oomph. Let's see what your 2000 watt bike's like. You go in front. Careful. Right, I'm going to stay in level 3 and you can be in level 5. In 3, 2, 1, go. Give him an advantage. He's in the lead, but not for long. Whoa. So you can see straight away it's not just about top end speed, because how often are you riding top end on a bike that does 40-50? Unless you're flipping commuting to work on it, like down a bloody carriageway, which I don't imagine most people are doing. Right guys, we're at the quite scenic Hadley bike park, and we're going to send a 52 volt 2000 watt up a hill, because hills matter, I think, more than top speed. We're going to send him up, let him pedal if he needs to. I might send this up afterwards with or without pedaling, I haven't decided yet. Right, we've got the 2000 watt Trek that I built my son for his, what was it, your 18th birthday? Yeah. And we've got the 3 Hills of Doom. It's a bit of a cheat. You got a bit of too much of a run up, I think. I reckon you go a couple more foot back, just where the hill starts. They never quite come out on camera how steep these are, but they're pretty steep. Right. In 3, 2, 1. Here he goes. Oh, he's struggling a bit, having to pedal. Come on, you can't stop. He's almost there. Really steep at the top. Right, my turn on the 60 volt. I'm not going to pedal unless I really need to. Let's go. Right, we're having to get Lou to run beside us, bless him, with the action cam, because this pole isn't very tight and it's done up with Allen keys, and I forgot to take one with me. It's only going to come loose and jam up in my wheels. So right, level 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Flying up. Oh, the pole's come down near me front wheel. I knew that was going to happen. Camera pole problems. You can probably see from all the elevation, like in just a few seconds we're way up in the hills. But this had no problems whatsoever getting up here. Yeah, decent. So quite a bit of difference in between the 2000 watt on this bike. It's got a more powerful battery in general, so you're going to have less battery sag. You know, these are just things that matter more than just how fast it go, mate. That's all people are obsessed with. Like, we've got more battery juice to have less battery sag. We've got more power, which was like more than evident going up this big hill. On to the next thing. Right, I think we've already established there's a massive difference going up hills from that hill. We've got the big tarmac hill in front of us. It's nice and smooth. This camera mount pole's moving about, so I can't do any bumpy off-roading, unfortunately. We're going to go back and tighten it up for the next test. I'm just going to let you maybe go ahead, get a little bit of a lead, and then see what difference it is. Be very careful on that bend, because you've got blind bend cars coming back down and parked cars at the top. But yeah, without any further ado, I'll give you a little head start. Go. Let him He's got a few seconds head lead. Now I'm throttle only, and we have to go up the inside or outside of him. Whoa! Even come off the throttle when flying past him on the inside. Massive difference between this beast that I've built and a 2000 watt. Absolutely huge difference. Right, we've tightened up the camera pole. Right guys, we're going to start off with a proper rolling test this time. Throttle only, both bikes. Come up side of me. We're doing 6 miles an hour. Come up side. 3, 2, come up the side of me. And 3, 2, 1, go. 30 straight away. 36. 40 miles an hour in a very short space of time. 2000 watts. How fast did you hit down there? Roughly. Didn't look.
Nah, about 24, 25.
So he was going 25, I was doing 40. Had an absolutely huge difference. And they're actually a really good bike, the 2000 watts. So I don't think just because this annihilated it, they're not decent kits. He's a little bit slower than it used to be because it's a couple of years old, but that suits him better because of his age and everything else. Anyway, we're going to do it from standstill this time. 3, 2, 1, go. See if we can go over 40 this time. 39. 45. That's mad. 45 in a really short space of time. What did you get?
31.
31. So he got a bit more. We both got about another 5 mile an hour more out of it, but yeah, it's pretty mad. Let's just go for a spin round here. So both decent bikes, but this clearly is like leagues above the 2000 watt, and that's what I wanted to do. I don't think I've seen anyone else do a hub drive using the CYC battery, and I just think it's a no-brainer because it's just such a good battery and it can be used on either hub or mid-drive. Should we do one more test from like maybe rolling a little bit faster? Where do you think your bike's better once it's got going a little bit? You roll at a slightly quicker speed. Go on. 10, 15, whatever you feel. Get up to a speed and I'll match you. About that? Yeah. Right, 10 mile an hour and 3, 2, 1, go. There's no chance at any speed. Stand still, whatever. It's not got a chance, has it? Not got a chance. Both sick bikes, but this is just sicker. Let's go. There he goes on the pavement, bless him. Where he belongs. This thing cruises at like 30, 40. Got to do the obligatory donut. It's a bit slippery out today. Right, so as expected, this thing absolutely smashed the 2000 watts, but it's not always the case, you know. There's a lot more to just how many volts something is or just how many watts something is. There's a whole spectrum from standstill to whatever the top speed is. I think it's mostly inexperienced people that talk about a bike's top speed, and there's so much more to it than that. It's like, how quick does it get there? How good are the battery cells? What brand are they? You know, what's the total watt hours of the battery? What's the range? You know, how much battery sag are you going to get? They're all much more knowledgeable questions for someone into e-bikes, and this thing sort of proves that, you know. You've got decent cells, a decent BMS can throw a lot of amps, and amps is what gives you your acceleration. Like I said, this thing's running an 80 amp controller, but I could run 100, 120 if I want to push it nearer its limits and see what this battery could really do on a hub drive. So let me know what you want to see me do with the A65 battery, because I'd like to test this even more. Now, I can either do another X1 build and put it on something a bit unusual, a wheelie bike, full suspension or something that I haven't done as of yet. Or I can keep pushing with this hub drive set up and see what this thing can do with like a Sabvaton or, you know, a more custom controller where I can run field weakening and I can throw 100, 120 amps at it. And we can have maybe an 8-9 kilowatt hub drive off of a battery that small, that clean, that tidy. I think it's a great battery, so check it out on CYC's website. I'll put the link in the video description. Right guys, this is a sick bike. So if you want higher odds than usual, there's only 300 people entered for this, which means there's higher odds for you. Plus there's ticket bundle deals, so if you buy a certain amount of tickets, you can get more free, which gives you even higher odds. So fantastic chance for you to win a very unique hub drive that's well built, well spec'd. It'll do everything you want it to do. So check the link in the video description. Let us know what you want to see in the next videos, what you'd like to see me build, and I'll see you guys in a video soon. Take it easy.